And if of course we're caught up in I don't know how to make it work this month, you know, things aren't looking good, I have a stack of bills, I'm sure we've all been there. But it's easy sometimes, isn't it, to kind of get stuck in that space of, I really want to work with some of those ideas and put them into practice every day. So, as we start off, we want to just have,
you know, I quit my job below spirit. He told me this is what I'm supposed to do down the wrong path. Because it's not spirit knows better than you. So, you know, it's just have that focus, but then know how to steer the boat, you know? It doesn't always go the way we think it's supposed to go, but thank you. It's a 3-step process. And the first step is asking. Asking what you want, writing down your goal, really putting it out to the universe of what is it that I want, and be specific, because sometimes we're for something and we don't really, you know, nail down exactly what we want, so something shows up and you're like, no, I really want that, you know, but you didn't say exactly what you want, because again, the universe is just going to give you what you're asking for. 2 is to really believe it, and I think, we're both going to talk these 3 different things, but the belief is having unwavering faith that what you asked for is going to happen. And not have a doubt that this is going to be your life. This is what you want. And the 3rd is allowing yourself to receive it, which I work with people day in and day out, because in our society we are taught to give and to receive isn't good. But many of us grew up with that belief. I know I did. And so I think many of us will spend a lot of time giving and doing and creating, and then it's just like, it's ready to come to you, but your fists are closed. So it's about being aware of when these things start to show up for you. Are you allowing it in? When that person shows up at the meeting that you need to make a contact with, are you alert and awake enough to know, I need to talk to him?
I think the whole concept of the law of attraction, as Krista said, is that this can be so simple. How many of you think you make life really hard? Unnecessarily. Like, oh, you know, how many of you have a lot of money or a fancy car? Right? This can be about happiness, about love. It can be about anything we really want to manifest in our life, but it doesn't have to be as hard as we often make it. And I'm the one who gets in my own way. That part of this is this whole idea of really asking about what it is that we want to create. So, and we can do that in a lot of different ways. We can write it down, as Brian is doing, and look at that every single day. Another, strategy is to really visualize that. So how many of you use the power of visualization? People rush to you and say, I want to become your clients. Unless, of course, you're incredibly lucky. But for the most part, it's something we know we have to do consistently. Whatever those marketing strategies are, you do it again and again and again. Well, it's really the same thing when we're talking about the law of attraction. It's not just like I do it once, I visualize once and once a year and that's it. It is about becoming disciplined to, just like anything else that's really important on the Discovery Health channel that inspires millions of people. But, it's not just visualizing it, it's actually part of the asking for it is actually feeling yourself there. So this is sort of the key, because we can sort of just rotely say, well, I want to, have 10 new clients next month. Well, that doesn't sound like I really believe it is. It's really trying to engender that feeling, like I am feeling myself on this set. I'm not only visualizing what the set looks like, but I'm feeling myself interviewing people. And it's not even, I'm feeling myself going around to these different parts of the world doing these interviews. So that's what I'm talking about with the feeling. It's not enough to just say, I want to create X, but it's about being able to put yourself there. It's feeling it in your body and just increasing your consciousness about that.
The biggest thing is to remember that we live in a feeling universe. Ryan said it earlier, we're all vibrating, we're all energy. So whatever you do, that's why you'll walk into this room and some people will resonate for you, some people won't. That's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. So it's the more that you can get into the feeling of what it is that you want to bring to you, the better chance you have than just thinking about it. Thinking about it is the first step, feeling it is the second step. So believing it is the next step. And I work with people all day that everything in our life starts on the belief level. We refer to it as spiritual because it's just, what do we believe? Then it becomes emotional, mental, and lastly physical. So what are the beliefs that are stopping you from having whatever it is that you want? And I help people to identify what is stopping them. Sometimes it's some traumatic event that happened to somebody or something that somebody said. I mean, I worked with a guy one time who he's 70, verbatim. So when people tell you words don't hurt, they hurt. You know? So it's helping you to get to what is that belief? Why do you think that that can't happen? What are the tapes that are running? And we got to break the tapes and help you to say, no, I can do it. And really believe it without a doubt. And I think why we're here, why I talk about this is so that I can believe in myself. The more people that you have around you, this is why groups are so powerful. Because now they're energetically supporting you to get to that next place. It's not just you anymore. Because we're all connected. Because you're supporting, as you live your journey, as you live your truth, you give permission for other people to live their truth. That's the beauty of this work. There's more than enough for America. How many billions of people are there? I mean, there's enough for everybody. And some of us are fed these beliefs, there's not enough, you know? So we have issues around trusting. You know, who has issues around trusting? So you can ask for something, but do you trust that it's going to happen? You know, how many of us don't trust that if they ask somebody for help, they're going to help you? So I got to do it myself. You know, that's just one way that it shows up. So if you put it out there, you got to say, I'm going to trust. And then maybe you need to work with somebody like me or a coach or Mark's not here, but Mark, our buddy, Clear the Fear. I mean, whatever it is, whoever can help you to get past that. Because sometimes we have conscious beliefs that are stopping us, and then we have unconscious beliefs that are stopping us. So the more you can shed light on what it is that's stopping you, the less power it has over you. So that's what it's about, getting down to, you know, what is it that you want, and how can I create this, and what's stopping me from really having it? Because we're the ones that stop it.
Like where sometimes we're like, you know, I'm not really sure, you want it, but yet you're just kind of doubting that it's possible. How many of you have thought, well, yeah, I really want to create something, but you're just not sure it's really possible? Right? So, you know, I think the key thing about this is that it is about that trust. And the thing is, like, you know how it is, we can want to create something, and we can be manifesting it, but it doesn't mean it shows up like the next day. You know, I mean, it'd be great, of course, if it was like, I thought about it, I want to create that in my life, and then is that even as we're going about our daily, you know, chores or whatever, things are manifesting, but the challenge is we can't see them. And I don't know about you, but I'm like a concrete person. It's like, I want to see it, I want to know it's there, so I really sometimes believe it. And I think that's what the challenge.
I was driving around, it sounded mighty great.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly it, though. And I think that's the key. You're right, but that's the key. It's much more likely that we're going to really start believing. So, you know, I'll just give you an example from my own life. You know, I'm a health coach, and one of the things I decided that I want to do is really focus on women and heart disease. And that is really my niche. That is what I'm really passionate about. And, you know, really helping women prevent heart disease and really reduce the risk factors, because it's the #1 killer of women. It's not breast cancer or anything else, it's heart disease. And often women are not aware, though, that their symptoms are so different than men. And they've done lots of studies that show that, you know, if a man feels like he's having a heart attack, I mean, some men don't go to the doctor, but if they feel like they're having a heart attack, they're like, all right, the world's stopping, I better go to the emergency room right now, right? Where women often are like, well, after I cook dinner, after I, you know, do 100 other things I need to do, well, then maybe I'll check this out and see if something's really wrong. So it's great. It's really about helping women take... I want to enroll 1 million women. 1 million women in my Take Your Health to Heart challenge. And so part of that, though, was just beginning to believe that that was possible. And then we'll talk about, so let's talk about receiving. I'll give you an example of how that's working out. So, Chris, about being open to this. Just like, well, I can just put that out there. And it's not like I'm not taking action, right? I'm doing all these things behind the scenes, certainly to manifest this. It's not like, oh, I'm going to ask for something and then just like wait around in my office. But which would be great, but you know, obviously it doesn't work like that. It's also about getting into action to support that. So what did I do? I said, well, you know, I'm going to have my 1 million women as part of my Take Your Health Heart Challenge. Well, what happened? You know, I got asked to be the keynote speaker at a Go Red for Women luncheon in Greenwich next week, 400 women. What am I doing? I'm kicking it off to attract my 1 million women. And you know, but of course I'm working behind the scenes to do that. You know, I'm working with a coach to help me get things lined up and leveraging the internet, etc. Right? But so then, you know, to this point every week, on Monday I got this note about a meeting that was going to be Friday morning. The Association of Women Business Leaders. And I saw that the speaker is someone I know, and I thought, you know, I really have to go to that meeting. Of course I have 100 things to do, as we all do. But I just decided that something just told me, Wendy, you need to go to this meeting. Because part of this, you know, around the law of attraction is really trusting what you hear. It's trusting that inner voice that says, there's a reason why someone's telling me to go to this meeting, that I'm saying this to myself. So I go to the meeting, and they every month they have a drawing, and one person gets to talk about their business for 60 seconds and get some help. So I put my card in, and lo and behold, I got chosen. So I got up and I said, well, here's what I'm going to do. I have my Take Your Health to Heart Challenge. 1 million women in the next year are going to sign up for my Take Your Health to Heart Challenge. And I said, but what I really need is support around how I spread the word. So everybody knows that. And what did I hear? What did I receive that day with this message? Oh, Wendy, you need to talk to Jane Brody. Who knows who Jane Brody is? Yeah. So Jane Brody is the health writer for the New York Times. Right. So if Jane Brody writes about it, everybody knows about it. And I was like, but it was just that simple though, right? That's all it was, just to receive that, was to just kind of trust that feeling to go to that meeting, to just stand up and share this information, and then to just get back. And obviously, it's a little more work. It's not just like, I'm going to call Jane Brody and she doesn't know who I am. She's going to say, oh, Wendy Reynolds, where are you in? I'm waiting for you. It's not like that. But just the point. Exactly. But just the point that, when we can get in that spirit of receiving as well as giving, just simple things like that can happen.
Absolutely. We should just really reevaluate how we tend to overgive, and why is it difficult for us to receive? The next piece of that is when we receive, feeling gratitude around it, acknowledging everything that we do receive. One of the things in Feng Shui that we use is an altar. So every day, at the end of the day, I put whatever I received that day, whatever I bought that day, I'm thanking it. You don't have to have an altar. That's what I do. But it's just taking account at the end of every day. Or you do it in the morning. In the morning I get up and say, thank you, God, for letting me be able to put my feet on the ground. Because any of you who have worked with sick people, we take it for granted. When you work with cancer patients who can't get up, who can't sit up, who can't sleep lying down, we're very blessed every day. So we need to really be accountable about how blessed we are. And it's just in the simple things, My dog, my dog was just diagnosed with liver cancer. And it's just, and I think about how my life is so blessed to have this dog, anybody has a pet. And, just to be so grateful for whatever time that she has left. And hopefully, we got a lot of people working on her from a distance, and maybe we can clear that for her if that's meant to be, if she's meant to stay. But to really, I want you guys to just close your eyes right now and think about something that you are so grateful just in this moment, whatever that is, and just feel the feeling of gratitude. The feelings of love, the feelings of compassion are much more powerful than feelings of fear, feelings of doubt. Thankful for what you have today, you create more feelings of gratitude and more things to be thankful for. Because that's where we put our focus, that's where we put our energy. If we think about things that we're not grateful for, or that bring us down, or bring us, negative feelings, then we'll create more of that. Why isn't this happening? Why isn't that happening? I think the greatest thing is that we don't have to figure all this out. We don't have to figure out how, every step. We got to know one step at a time. In The Secret, they use a beautiful example, which I love, Jack Canfield. When you can drive all the way from California to New York in the dark with your headlights, showing you 200 feet. That's it. You don't have to see the whole map. You don't have to see the whole road. You don't have to know what is coming that far ahead. Just take that one step. Just take that, like Wendy, write to that person at the New York Times or call that person. You know, go to that meeting. You don't have to figure it all out. Just like I was trying to figure it all out. How was I going to do this? There were no people that I knew of who were doing energy medicine who weren't a medical practitioner or a psychotherapist. So I was breaking new ground. And it was scary, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. But when I got out of the way, Spirit showed me. Just do this. Just go here. Just go there. You're going to meet this person. And that person's going to tell this person. It's like, it doesn't have to be hard. It really is effortless when you get out of the way. That's what I truly believe. So just allow yourself to open up to all the time. Whenever I start to get into a tizzy about something, it's like, think unlimited possibilities, Krista. Unlimited, because we limit it. The universe doesn't know what's big or small. The universe doesn't know 1 million people is a lot. We think it's a lot, so it's going to take a long time. It's a lot. Because you think
That's nothing. What about 1 million? I was like, of course, 1 million people. Right? That's
Why
like,
not?
why not? And after 1 million, then it's 2 million. Right? So why shouldn't we be thinking big? Why shouldn't we think we can have a profound impact on the people that we touch? There's no reason we can't do that, whatever it is we want to create. So we want to see what questions you may have